Good afternoon from Goodison. If Everton and Newcastle can produce as good a cup tie as we saw on Merseyside yesterday between Liverpool and Tottenham, then we're in for another thriller. The news straight away, though, is that Manchester United, the favourites, are in the semi-final draw, which of course we'll have for you live a little later on. They've beaten Queen's Park Rangers by 2-0. The scorers Sharp and Irwin. Now, what's going to happen here this afternoon? Jimmy and Alan with us. Jim, no Beardsley, we've just found out in the match. That's a disappointment.
Yeah, that's very sad. I mean, it's very sad for us, very sad for the spectators, and even more for Newcastle United, because you know already what I think of that player. He is extremely special. But on the other hand, they've so many good attacking players. You know, they're well suited in that role to cope with a player being out. So I think they'll miss Howie an awful lot more. I
mean, the central defender who's suspended.
Yeah, their weakness in the Newcastle team is that they can, they give away goals when they shouldn't. Until they can conquer that, I don't see Newcastle winning a major tournament. I see them giving a lot of fun, a lot of entertainment, but I think they're in danger today because of that defensive problem.
Now, Alan, you've already stated on Match of the Day that you think Everton are going to win this one.
I think they've got a great chance. It's a huge test of character for Newcastle. I think Everton will pressurise them, they'll hustle them, they'll harry them, they'll be fast and they'll be frenetic. The first 20 minutes, I can't imagine the Everton midfield taking any prisoners at all. It'll be very much route one. They'll play up to the head of Duncan Ferguson, who's a bit of a cult hero here, and he'll give any defence problems. They'll miss Hinchcliffe because 90% of the goals here have come from his set pieces. I think there's a question mark about certainly checking goals when the ball's coming across them quick, and I think Newcastle will struggle when the ball's in there defensively.
Yeah. They don't play really pretty stuff at the moment, Everton. It's very practical.
Not great to watch, but very effective. You know, they play very much to their strengths, and it's percentages. They won't lose it in their half of the pitch. They'll play up to Ferguson and just feed off him. And he's very, very powerful in there.
Yeah. Well, it's a terrific atmosphere for the game and a wonderful afternoon for football. And the team should be out very shortly. So let's now join our commentators, Trevor Brooking and Barry Davis.
The sun still shines on one half of the city of Liverpool. Although Newcastle support is here in numbers, some 6,000 in a crowd of just short of 40,000. So let's check the teams. No surprises in the Everton lineup. Matt Jackson is in place of Al Barrett, who is cup-tied. He played previously with Aston Villa. John Ebrell returns to the midfield. Vinnie Stanway's stepping down to the substitutes bench, and Gary Ablett is in the left-back position, usually occupied by Andy Hinchcliffe.
Guys, I think the way the Everton will line up is very much that was so effective against Manchester United here in the league. Limpar and Barlow, the two wide people, will block the fullbacks for Newcastle, and then those three central midfielders, Parkinson, Ebrell and Horn, will just ferret away, closing down the space. And then if you look at the defenders, Watson, Unsworth, Ablett, and link that with Ferguson, you can see the height advantage that they will have at set pieces.
Newcastle go in not only without the considerable ability of Peter Beardsley, but also his cajoling of other players, which was so noticeable 8 days ago at Anfield when a number of Newcastle players disappeared. Barry Venison will play in the centre of the defence, and the former Everton player Paul Bracewell will be just in front of him.
Well, it's a big test, I think, Newcastle today. In midfield is going to be so congested. Those two wide people, Royal Fox, Keith Gillespie, will have to play a very important part if Newcastle are going to be successful. Lee Clark, of course, an opportunity for him with Beardsley missing. If you look at the outfield players, though, only number 15 at the back there, Darren Peacock, is what I would call reasonable in the air, so they can't afford to give too many free kicks or throw-ins away because they will be vulnerable on crosses.
The two captains, Dave Watson on the right and Paul Bracewell on the left, a man who played in 3 losing finals with Everton and a 4th with Sunderland. Here's Lee Clark. He's on the transfer list, but he's a man who wears his Newcastle heart on his sleeve. Anders Limpar will have a crucial role. In the absence of Hinchcliffe, presumably he'll take a lot of the set pieces. Can he also find the sweeping crossfield balls that Hinchcliffe has used to such good advantage? They've come in hope. And hugely enthusiastic, not dampened by the absence of the little dynamo. Keith Cooper from Pontypridd is the referee. And Everton are playing right to left. First touch for Kitson. Ablett dwelling. Away by Unsworth. Ferguson's first touch, not yet, but noticeable that Benison followed him out to the touchline. Clark. Fox. It's Unsworth who's playing on the left of the back 4 against Gillespie, with Ablett tucked inside him. This is Hottinger. Clark. Beresford. Interesting to see how Everton pick him up if he gets forward from the back, which I'm sure he'll be encouraged to do. And a key man with the interception there, Peacock, who really has to play well, I think.
It was interesting tactic by Joe Royle to play David Unsworth left back. I mean, he's a very good young defender. I think it just shows you how concerned they are with Keith Gillespie's pace. Gary Ablett might have been a bit sort of wary of that, and so they've decided to switch Unsworth slightly quicker to mark him man for man.
Beres with the free kick to Gillespie. Shown inside and goes inside with a vengeance and away. Fox, it was a good cross, but everybody got sucked in. It was hit right to the back of the box with some force, it should be said. But Unsworth may not invite him inside next time. Kitson, good save, Neville Southall. And a good start by Newcastle.
Well, lucky to get away with that, Everton. Keith Gillespie proved the point about being concerned because he went past Unsworth, didn't he? And just his pace. Pulled the cross back, and then another mistake in the Everton defence allowed Kitson the shot. Good save though by Southall.
Kitson still in the area. Peacock is up as well. Shot from a former favourite, Paul Bracewell. That's where the ball was lost. Suddenly Kitson turned on it. A really good block. Might have been more difficult for Southall. It could have gone for the other side, in fact. Because he was very much to the right of his goal, reasonably enough. But faced the other side, might have tested him. Newcastle free kick. Swift challenge in by Eberl, and the free kick given. Bracewell. It's all Newcastle at the start. Hottinger. Gillespie. 2 came to him this time, the second one being Limpar. 3 forward. Really positive start by Newcastle. behind me shouting, "Come on, Everton, get this together." They're not in the match yet, the home side.
It's a bit easier said than done. They're actually trying to sort out their marking situation in midfield. Got Barry Horn picking up Robert Lee, and then Joe Parkinson's picking up Lee Clark, but they're getting dragged right back with their back four, and at the moment finding it very difficult to get into the Newcastle half.
Venison, Robert Lee. Well, that's the first bit of pressure. That was an extraordinary pass. Parkinson have put a little bit of pressure on him. Offside flag up.
I think you might get one or two of those termed shinners as the ball bobbles. Robert Lee was trying to play it across, and you can see the pitch is starting to dry up. We've had all this rain the last couple of months, but once it does start to dry, you will get one or two, just the bad bobble, and Robert Lee suffered a bit then.
Bit of push and shove. Matt Jackson and Royal Fox. Clark. In comes Gillespie, trying to get between two. Unsworth took command. Venison. You've had 5 minutes. It's all been from the team in stripes. Lee. Chase for Fox. And Neville Southall made the upper tier. Main stand on the far side. Capacity of 11,000. Came off Fox. It's Matt Jackson. Scored the one goal which got Everton through at Ashton Gate in round 4 against Bristol City. Hasn't been in the side since. Ablett did well. Unsworth, so did he. On by Limpar. Ferguson peels away to the right. Barlow coming inside, leaves it for Ferguson. In fact, it was played back by Beresford, and the goalkeeper was very, very smart. Offside flag at the other end, but he was extremely neat, put under pressure by Beresford, but his control was good enough.
It was good covering by John Beresford, but in doing so, it happened so quickly, he just instinctively went back towards the goalkeeper, and Cernacek did very well to, first of all, stop it and then clear it, because it could easily have bobbled and set up an Everton striker.
Everton's first attack, and the gentleman about whom I referred earlier is now sitting more comfortably in his seat. Pavel Cernacek, who 8 days ago at Anfield had a quite brilliant game. A performance other than his, which hugely disappointed Kevin Keegan. Everton have the ball. Newcastle have pulled everyone back except Paul Kitson. Unsworth underneath it. Beresford. Fox on the left. Clark forward. Everton pushing forward, trying to get the offside. There's a break on the right side. Gillespie was waiting for it. Lee! Gillespie gives him a bit of a mouthful for not being aware of his position. And he pulled it back, turned it on his left foot, when in fact he could have just played it wide.
I think he should have played it wide. I mean, it was a great turn, but you get no excuse unless you put the ball in the back of your net. Gillespie's coming out wide here. He's going to be clear. All he's got to do, just coming into the picture, is spread it, and he's got a clear shot at goal. And And unless he puts it in the back of the net, then I think Robert Lee was at fault.
Peacock went with Ferguson then. This is Hall. Limpar. Out by Benison. Nice touch by Eberl. Benison's head again. Dangerous play by Gillespie. Ablett to take. Peacock with Ferguson. And Ferguson won it cleanly. Well, it was always going to be a problem. They don't seem to be in the least bit concerned. Very well delivered by Ablett. Striff wouldn't have done better. Classic centre-forwards header. So Royal again.
The angle from that previous free kick was certainly not an easy one for him to direct towards goal. As you can see, it's hanging up there, but it's coming from behind him. He's coming at an angle, and he's got to then head it and get it back on target. But it just shows that he is going to dominate in the air. But they've got to get the crosses in from nearer the byline.
So it's interesting you're saying that, Trevor, because the free kick, when it was taken, they went 10 or 15 yards infield to take that free kick. Clearance by Ablett. He could have had a better angle. Peacock. Mistake by Peacock, and this is Barlow. Look for support, which was a little late in coming. He who hesitates. Clark in possession, 3 around him, and the flag is up against Kitson.
Well, nearly a terrible error at the back, wasn't there, by Darren Peacock. Caught in 2 minds and then gave a very soft pass to Stuart Barlow. Again, seemed to hesitate. I thought he looked as if he had a clear run, and then he just got caught underneath him. And then at the other end there, Newcastle got to be very wary of the offside, just running into space as Everton held the line.
Huge climb again. Ersman had to win it twice. Fox. Beresford. Fox again. Clark. Plenty of room to pick somebody out, but failed to do so. Gillespie flat rather than coming in from the angle. Certainly an afternoon to remind us that spring is round the corner. Ferguson's head again. Bracewell. Fox. The Swiss. Ablett able to play around Kitson. So we'll have to do a lot of chasing. Watson's untidy clearance. Lee, first time shot as he was challenged by Barry Horn. Not the best of clearances by David Watson, who in '85 was the winning captain for Norwich City when Barry Venison was the losing for Sunderland in the League Cup final. Real struggle going on between Peacock and Ferguson. It's a good ball. Experienced Ablett, one of those on the field with a winner's medal with the team across Stanley Park. Came from Liverpool in January '92, won in '89. Here's Gillespie. Kitson pulls away. Hooks. Clark, all a bit untidy. Bracewell. Disappointing cross in by Bracewell. Ball and a Newcastle throw. Picked up by Jimmy Gabriel there. Newcastle had squeezed right onto the halfway line. Oh, just short of it. Obviously, if you're in your own half, you're not offside. Flag up against Ferguson. Good play by Jackson. I'd be embarrassed to see that again. Clark. Deep Barlow was. Finds Limpar. Unsworth. This is Limpar. The ball being won by Ferguson. Still Limpar. John Everett. Goodness me, the goal was at his mercy. Wonderful play by the Swede Anders Limpar. Clark here is offside. Ball won by Ferguson from Barry Venison. And then Limpar with the trickery had a quick look up. Everett got himself into the right position, was completely unmarked, and made a pass to the goalkeeper.
Well, I think was just thinking at that stage, Douglas Ferguson was looking very isolated. They're going to have to get more men forward. Then Limpar did so, and when it came to John Everett, I think he was trying to get it on his right foot. He's very much a right-footed player, but the control was all askew, and there's a wonderful opportunity. I mean, there's the pullback. Look, really, his weaker left foot, it just pops off there and wasn't even close to getting it under control.
A graduate of the FA School of Excellence, who couldn't make him two-footed. Everett. Horn. Good challenge by Bracewell, it just did enough to hold things up. Here's Ferguson. Just played it off really without being sure that anybody would collect. Beresford on the counter. Fox. Brisk contest with a few openings, and Fox is wide with another attempt.
I mean, Edwards has been the best chance so far, but I think Newcastle have had more of the game, and I think Joe Roll will be concerned about the two wide men. Royal Fox and Keith Gillespie definitely have got the beating of their men out wide, and if Newcastle can get it out there as quickly as possible, then I think those are the two that could cause the problems.
Willie Donachie with Joe Royal. I'll tell you what though, Trevor, many a neutral watcher will be delighted about the wide men. ricochet. Peacock and Ferguson still looking at each other. Jackson. What was I to do, he said.
I do have certain sympathy, because the backloads, when they do get it and look up, I mean, unless Duncan Ferguson happens to be in striking range, there aren't that many options, and so you hesitate and suddenly Newcastle close you down.
Kitson to Fox, who did well to take it, to Clark, who was caught. Kitson. Well play, Clark. Robert Lee didn't really get motoring. Minutes, no score. Peter Beardsley sitting at the back of the group. Substitutes just ahead of him. Gillespie. Lee. Challenge was strong. Flat cross straight to the head of Matt Jackson. Nice header, Barlow. This is Everton.
Well, groans all round, but I mean, it was only Stuart Barlow and no one else to give it to. Again, Everton getting numbers back, but when they do break, they don't have that many alternatives.
Newcastle managing to play most of the game in the opposition half. Well, to get really underneath that and get a long clearance, the goalkeeper. Kept his eye on it well. Parkinson completed the clearance, but only to Fox. Clark was watching rather than moving. Sort of occasion when little Beardsley might have been doubting. Ferguson cleanly into Barlow! Off the crossbar! Peacock was nowhere near the header with Ferguson. And Barlow was really unlucky. Hit it first time, no hesitation, had to improvise a bit, hit it with his right.
Bit of credit to Cernacek there. I think he got the faintest of touches onto the crossbar, but I mean, if they get the people forward, there's no question Duncan Ferguson's going to win every ball in the air. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. Barlow got the run then on Beresford, hit it with his wrong foot, actually, the outside of his right. But as I say, Cernacek getting the faintest of touches, so they have got forward that much, but when they have, they've had the better openings.
Two clear chances. Yes, there was just a fingertip touch. Kitson. Nice header. Lee. Gillespie. Hasn't attacked outside yet. No obstruction, says Mr. Cooper. Gillespie disappointed. But might learn a lesson not to quit halfway through. Darren Peacock clearly concerned. He didn't have a good game at Anfield last week. His mistake brought the second goal, and he's really got his hands full. Just needs to get hold of a step ladder to get up above this fellow.
Well, desperately unlucky when Philippe Elber got badly injured. halfway through the season, and then to lose Howie then through suspension in this particular game was just the wrong timing.
Limpar, Horn. Gillespie. Fox stays square rather than going forward. Watson.
It was a great example of the difference in the styles, wasn't it? Newcastle had about 3 or 4 passes into the midfield, trying to probe a little opening, and then Dave Watson got it, knocked it long to Duncan Ferguson and cleared him. Definitely 2 completely different styles of play at the moment.
Free kick. Against Peacock, just thumped Ferguson in the back. Clark had plenty of time to wait for it to come down and was then challenged by Ebro. Just poke the ball forward as Newcastle are themselves coming forward. They're going to get caught 10 yards into the opposition half. Hanging a bit, met by Watson, collected by Fox. 2 turns away from Jackson, 1 away from Horn. Lee. It's across the line of many defenders at the moment. Gillespie still hasn't attempted to go outside Unsworth. Clark, Lee, and grabbed in the end. Bounce curling back into Neville Southall with Fox nearest to him.
Typical Newcastle attack along the floor, knocking it in. Paul Brace will just get in the faintest of touches there, knocked in by Clark, and Robert Lee then keeping it on the floor again. It's just behind Rolf Fox. He does a little back heel. Don't think it would have gone in, but Neville Southall just making the save at the second attempt.
Horn. Limpar, Hotiger could hardly be closer to him. And there was a little push. Swiss on Swede.
Not the place to start giving away free kicks.
I see Donald Duck's arrived. Now this is where they wish, I'm sure, that they had Andy Hinchcliffe. Unsworth takes instead, and it curled too much across the face of the defence, met by Venison. Ablett was the back man. That's a good ball. Matt Jackson did well. Barlow in a bit of space. Ferguson on, and Hotiger away from David Watson. Venison slightly miskicked it, given a second opportunity. 3 up. Early in, but not well controlled. Limpar. Rather by him. Really pacey contest of contrasting styles. On the ground where Newcastle won the first of their 6 FA Cups. Played a replay in 1910 against Barnsley. Clark. Lifted well. Experience has come to the fore many times in this opening nearly half an hour. Barlow. Break his right side with Jackson. Fox to close the space. Barlow again. Limpar. No room for manoeuvre. Lee. Clark. Ball is bobbling around quite a lot, making control difficult, but it's not always the reason.
Makes it a bit harder probably for a side like Newcastle who are trying to knock it through the midfield this afternoon, rather than Everton who are tending to play 1 or 2 touch.
Clark, only Ablett there. Good save against Southall, but it's following in. And Unsworth turns it away. Lee Clark suddenly finding himself in so much space. They've had plenty to cheer, those who've come down from Newcastle. Gillespie takes the corner, and Peacock is up, but Ferguson was back. Well spread out by Bracewell. Handball. No, says the linesman. Surprising. Ball clearance. Gillespie. Clark shot that was parried and then almost came back off Watson. It was going to go wide. Up by Kitson. The defensive work of Everton is often so hurried. Bracewell. Hit it truly. Lee looks for the return, doesn't get it. And Horn plays as though he's got all the time in the world. Collected by Fox. Well, that was certainly handball.
We have mentioned the bumpy pitch, but I mean, there's a lot of nerves. I mean, Will Fox thought somebody was marking him tight there, trying to get to the pitch. There's very little composure. I think everyone's realising the pace of the game and don't think they've got any time to bring the ball down. And at the moment, it's quite scrappy.
But certainly not unexciting. Stuck like glue. This is Parkinson. Barlow in the middle, so is Limpar, so is Ferguson. But it's a Newcastle throw. Beresford. Lee. Nicely in, and is well claimed. A very interesting style because he went to make sure he killed the bounce, believing he couldn't get there to take it on the full. Interesting goalkeeping.
It wasn't that bad a ball, but Neville Southall came out well, read it, didn't commit himself until he knew he was going to get possession.
Space on the right for Eberl. 4 in the middle. Sharp from behind me, too late, too late, too late. It's an easy game to play from the stands. Ferguson. Peacock. Clark. Robert Lee.
Gillespie just saying to Lee Clark, just took it on one touch, and he would have been clear then, just his control let him down.
He's not alone in that, is he? Limpar. Pottinger with him. Several hands calling for the ball. It belongs now to Bracewell. Kitson was waiting to go. Ablett given away to Fox. Lee looking for a means of spreading it out, and he's found it. Via Bracewell to Beresford. Kitson in the box, out by Ablett. Venison, neatly done. Rare moment of composure, but just offside. Whether it was Fox or Kitson, I'm not sure. But the flag was up. Barry Venison doing the job of moving him to the central defensive position is required of him, although often rather deeper than where he was then, to pick up the nods down and the nods on from the Scotsman Duncan Ferguson. Peacock has got to do something different, because when it's one-to-one challenge, there's only one winner. Kitson did well, but so did the defender.
Yeah, good defended. I think at the other end, it's very important. They've done it well up to now, Newcastle. They've got to go with the second runner, because I think Ferguson will win most of the balls.
Here's Gillespie, played in by Robert Lee. Clark is in the middle. That's the first time that they found the pass to get Gillespie in from the wide position. Clean away, came in from the inside and got wide, flashed the ball across the box, didn't really look up.
Shouldn't have taken the second touch. He should have hit it. He took the first touch, it was in his stride. Lee Clark pulled out for the pullback, and then as soon as he took the extra touch, it took him too near the near post, and there was no one then to choose.
This is Kitson, and it was briefly. Lee. Nobody moving on the right side. Everybody's got sucked into the left. There's no width on this attack at all, except on the left side. Watson. Horn. Waiting to go. Timing of the jump was crucial then for Beresford. Curious that he won the ball in the air where Peacock has palpably failed to do so. The point where you wonder whether it's almost worth him jumping for it. This is Unsworth. Gillespie did a good job. 2 up, waiting to go. Everton waiting to push up. And waiting to harry in the middle. Too much so. Free kick. Passing movement between McDermott and Keegan, but more in basketball fashion. Tackle from behind, Beresford. right position. Immediately followed by a second, that would do him the world of good. Loses on the deck to Barlow. This is Limpar, who is wide. Never had any other intention, Anders Limpar, other than to go for the shot.
He scored a couple from distance in recent matches. That one on his left though, and probably likes usually to turn inside and hit with his right. Never trouble in Sternicher.
It took him 26 matches to score for Everton, and then 2 in the next 4. Looking into the sun. Gentlemen with time to yawn. Five minutes from half-time. No score, as you see at the top of your screens. Big Joe Royal's Blue Army have certainly not had the better of it. Down to Gillespie. Clark. Clark does well. The crowd thought the ball had gone out, but I don't think it had.
Great bit of skill, wasn't it? Thought he had it hemmed in there, Unsworth. Good balance and to swivel right near the corner flag and get the cross in. But nothing quite able to come of it. Here you can see it doesn't look any way he's going to get the cross in. The linesman right there deciding the ball not all over the line. And when it comes in, Paul Kitson couldn't quite get it under control.
Linesman 1, Mike Stoddart. Barlow brings Jackson into it. Ferguson wandering away from the middle. Free kick against Peacock. Shannon John Everall.
Now this is a dangerous position in this forward. Just on the angle of the 18-yard box, and all the defenders also able to come forward.
Plenty of height there. Watson, Ablett, alongside Ferguson. Leaving it to Limpar, takes it with his right. And Watson was absolutely clear, headed across instead of down towards goal. Benison. Beresford popping up on the right. Oh, unlucky. Just wouldn't run for Gillespie. That was certainly a chance for Everton. Dave Watson now back in defence.
Did look as if he should have gone for goal, whether he just didn't think he was set properly or what, and headed it back across. But as you can see, it clears everyone, and suddenly he comes into the space unmarked, is in a standing position, but it does look just, what, 7 or 8 yards out, as if it would have been worth going for goal.
Gillespie, what an interesting chest pass. Clark, Ablett across. That's a poor finish, really. There were 2 players up to go for a shot against Neville Southall on such an angle. Really was not particularly bright by Lee Clark.
I think Neville was probably a bit upset that he had the cheek to try to beat him from there. The game's been very much as anticipated, isn't it? A frantic pace, no time for anyone to settle on it. And although I'm sure young supporters been delighted with the noise and the passion, he probably hasn't seen too much on the technique side.
If anybody from abroad watching it might feel it's a rather different game from the one they're used to seeing. It has plenty of heart and desire and determination. And a bit of skill here from Neville Southall. He's got a winner's medal and a loser's medal. Only survivor of the '84 side that beat Watford. really good side too that might well, but for other things getting in the way, might well have won the European Cup. Followed on to win the Cup Winners' Cup, the Championship, and never had a chance to win the major European trophy. Lee. Gillespie. Lee. Didn't finish the identification. It was Lee Clark.
Just behind him, couldn't divert it towards the goal. Gillespie definitely is a danger man, but Everton do very well, either Parkinson or Horn come across and double up with Unsworth. That's why it might be just Worth is just changing it a little bit, as you've said earlier, and perhaps going on the outside. He does tend to come inside and then want to go back out.
Newcastle have had the better of it, in spite of the fact that Everton have had the two clearest chances. But in a vibrant cup tie, there is no score at Goodison Park at half-time.
Well, they're enjoying themselves. I hope you are at home. We certainly are. It hasn't got the class of yesterday's cup tie on Merseyside, but there's plenty of passion, plenty of
I think it's been a brilliant game. You know, when the questions were asked in Newcastle, I think they answered them positively. It's fair to say that if Beardsley had been playing for Newcastle, it might have been all over. Even having said that, Everton have had two great chances, but Newcastle are a class apart. Kevin Keegan will be delighted with the way his team played.
We know how Everton are going to win this, don't we, Jim? They're going to win it in the air.
They're going to win it with Duncan Ferguson, plus, you know, anybody who can get on the end of one of those flicks and get his foot to it first, yeah, and that's a goal. Never mind what's happened in the rest of the game. But the Newcastle passing is effervescent. It's full of pace and guile, and it's really a delight to see. Yeah. But the other side have the determination, and they're grinding on, and strangely you don't necessarily get the number of chances that your football merits. You know, Everton have got, by one means or another, great height. They've created more chances than Newcastle, with all the puffing and huffing and attractive football that they play.
It's a tough match to play in so
far.
It's
very, very much Route 1, but the thing I feel about Duncan Ferguson, as Jimmy said, he's won everything there, but he's chasing. They've only got the one ball. They play to him all the time. Whether he can keep going for another 45 minutes like that is open to debate. I think the longer the game goes on, the more Newcastle keep passing and moving, they're going to create chances, and they just need a little bit of composure when they get around the edge of the box, and they'll score goals.
It's highly competitive, but a tribute to both managers, I think, that it's played in a very good spirit. There's not been an ounce of malice anywhere, and prove that it is possible.
Hard but fair.
Hard but fair, yeah.
Thank you for the moment.
And he's so quick. He goes past Unsworth, flies past Ablett, takes it to the byline, and I think he's a bit unlucky there. And it comes out to Kitson. And I mean, this is 2 minutes into the game. It's a great start for Newcastle. They've got it under control again. Beresford plays it wide to Clark, and eventually it comes in. Here to Kitson, he hits it, and it's a great save from Southall.
Yeah, that was in the first 2 minutes
of the game.
Yeah, but as we've been saying, the better chances have actually fallen to Everton, Jimmy, and Ebril probably won't get a better chance than this in the game.
No, I feel he froze on it, really. Yeah. It was, you can actually see him stop. Great challenge there for Ferguson, very physical, makes the opportunity for Limpard, and he's as cool as a cucumber. Stands up there against the challenge, picks his man out, and it was such a good chance, I think it frightened the life out of him. He went, oops, what shall I do? Right foot, left foot, and it's gone.
Nothing.
It really was, that was a beautiful piece of football in picking him out of the rut, under pressure on the byline.
Just a bit lack of composure, wasn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't have panicked there, would you?
Yeah. I had a nosebleed when I got to this position.
I was panicking, I was only watching.
You know, Cernacek gets a bad press now and again, but he seems to have done everything right every time I see him, the Newcastle keeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's fallible when it comes across him quickly in there, but when somebody's through 1 against 1, he is fantastic.
Yeah, remember that presence of mind early in the half, though, Jimmy, when he had to use his feet and did so.
Exactly, that was it wasn't a pass back as much as a panic back, and he reacted quickly.
A quality midfield player would have been happy with the control, wouldn't he?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Let's look at that other terrific chance when the ball came off the bar, Barlow's chance, and Ferguson involved again.
Well, it's Ferguson.
Yeah.
Good head on. Beresford gets the wrong side of Barlow, and he comes in, hits it first time. And it's a really magnificent save to put it onto the bar.
He did touch it, didn't he?
Yeah, when we first looked at it, we thought that he hadn't done and that it was something of a miss, although it was a half volley off the outside of his foot, and there is the save. Just a touch at the end of a finger, which made all that difference.
Yeah.
But he's caused them problems, Ferguson, isn't he? Every time the ball's come there, he's winning it.
Yeah, they're missing Howie, aren't they, really, Newcastle? I mean, you anticipated that before the programme, Jim, that they would miss him at the heart of the defence.
I don't know if there's an answer to the problem. You know, he's
just too good in there.
Sometimes you're better not challenging him. Sometimes you're better just going with the runners. You know, just leave him, let him head it, because he's going to win it every time. And the most important thing is you don't give free kicks away round about the box, because they've got some big men up there.
Yeah.
With Ferguson, I mean, it's fascinating the judgment of managers at stake, isn't it? With his temperamental problems, when you think the money that's been spent there, and is he going to survive? I mean, we can see his ability.
Here, isn't he?
We can see his danger, and you think Kevin Keegan, you know, having sold Cole,
right,
you know, and brought Kitson in, the pressure on them is enormous to prove themselves right, and only one of these teams is going to get through into the next round.
I think if you take Ferguson out of that team, that Everton side, they haven't got a sign. You know, he's that important to them.
Yeah. Let's look at another chance. Now, this time it was for Newcastle. Clark got on the end of this one.
Well, he comes in here and he does well. He keeps it close to his body. Good left foot shot, great save, and following back nearly puts it in. But they've caused problems, Newcastle. You know, they've passed it nicely, they've moved, and they've got into great positions. And I just feel there's just a little bit more composure around about the box, and they would have scored one or two goals.
We're about to hear from the man who might have given them that extra bit of composure,
I think he would have
Peter
done.
Beardsley, because unfortunately he isn't playing, didn't pass a fitness test just before the game, and he's with Ray Stubbs.
Peter, first of all, how's the injury?
Yeah, not too bad. I was having trouble through the week with a hamstring, but I fell over and jarred my knee yesterday, so not too bad, hopefully.
Not long term, do you think he'll be back pretty soon?
Yeah, hopefully he'll be back. We don't play till next Sunday, so I hope to be okay for that.
Now, what are they saying in the Newcastle dressing room?
Keep going, really. I think the only one problem we've had is when Barlow's hit the bar, you know, which Alan said John Beresford got caught the wrong side, and I would say that's about a fair assumption so far.
Disappointed not to be in the lead in many ways.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've had the better of the play, there's no doubt about that, but we've got to be more, I don't know, deadly in front of goal. You know, that's the only problem we've got at the moment. We seem very comfortable.
Everton fans will point to the chances they've had in hitting the bar, and Duncan Ferguson, when the ball's up there, is a big threat.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, he's a quality player. You know, Alan's just said that. And he is a big danger to us, there's no doubt about that. But if we can nullify him, we've got a good chance.
You're very confident of this second half?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got to be. I mean, at the end of the day, we looked the better team overall in the first half. And if we apply ourselves the same, there's no reason why we shouldn't.
Thanks, Peter.
Cheers.
Well, we reckon that Newcastle will be happy with the draw, obviously take them back to St James's Park, but as you see, the players are out for the second half. The sun shines on, so let's rejoin Trevor and Barry.
No changes in personnel for what is the first meeting between these two sides in the FA Cup for 74 years. It's only the third time they've ever met. Kevin Keegan, of course, scored 2 goals against Newcastle United for Liverpool in the final of '74, when frankly Newcastle were taken apart that day. But the last meeting between these two was in 2021. The winner of the Cup that year, Tottenham Hotspur. Mr. Cooper gets the second half underway. And the vibrancy will continue, no doubt. First challenge. I must say, be a school of thought that there isn't much point in challenging Ferguson in that position, because Peacock has never managed to win the ball once from him. Has to in the box, obviously, but in midfield you wonder whether it's worth it. Jackson. Beresford. Nice weight up. Pass was made by Jackson to Kitson. Parkinson couldn't take it. Lee did well to look up. In control by the England player. Lee Clark rather telegraphed the intent. Beresford. Clark. Plenty of Newcastle players forward. Fox can get it right. It was very skillful though. And Newcastle starting the second half as they started the first. Flag is up. Otago had taken a good position on the right side then, but wasn't seen. Kitson caught offside.
As you say, though, typical Newcastle attack, good movement, good possession, just trying to wait and prise open the Everton defence, but they do hold the 18-yard box well, and with those midfield players tackling back, not easy.
On by Ferguson. Good work again by Venison, not for the first time. Fox. John Beresford. Watson claimed it. Offside flag against Barlow. Everton last in a semi-final 6 years ago. Newcastle 21 years ago. That's the prize for victory in this one. Up by Kitson. And Southall reacted while two others looked. Clark. Joking. Side by side, but not when they get off the ground. Ricochet. Kitson and Watson. Good play by David Watson. Lee. Beresford. Yes, he's seen a few Newcastle matches. What if he got a ticket in '74? Would have been disappointed perhaps that he had. Here's Lee Clark. Good stuff again from Neville Southall. It's been off his line. Lucky youngster. Instead of that, this is his 643rd appearance. Neville Southall. Look at the speed here. Good block with his feet.
Good linking though between Kitson, the first touch, and definitely was onside. Clark, as he was released, just couldn't beat Southall's feet to it.
Beresford. Clark, come back inside his man. Being physically forced across on by Bracewell, but more in hope than belief. And there's an injury, the reason for the ball being kicked straight out. And it's Beresford who's hurt. These days the manager of Northern Ireland, doing commentary for radio. Once had a goal chalked off in a semi-final playing for Everton by referee Clive Thomas. And if my memory serves me right, he had a similar situation playing for Ipswich and didn't make it to Wembley on either occasion. Doesn't look good for John Beresford. And it's going to be Robbie Elliott who will replace him.
Be a straightforward swap, Rob Elliott. has played this season. He was out injured first half and then came into the side in midfield when Scott Sellers, who of course has been another absentee for a long while, but he can play left back, and probably that was his happiest position, so don't be any problems about unbalancing the side or not. He's a natural left footer.
Unlucky John Beresford, who'd been playing well. Robbie Elliott, some promise, 21, making his 12th appearance of this season. Shoulder was effective. Handball against Robert Lee. Referee has been sharp and unobtrusive. Corner. Early test for Elliott then. Ferguson moving further away, and in they come again. And it's Bracewell who brings it out. Actually, two Everton players then were in the same running line, and one confused the other.
A good challenge though by Darren Peacock, because he peels away beyond the far post, Ferguson, and Darren Peacock always got a lack of inches against Ferguson, but he did get up there and challenge him well.
It's there that he has to win the physical battle. Benison to Gillespie. Barry Horn nagging at him. Unsworth with the tackle. He had a new lease of life, Barry Horn. Gillespie tried to peel away, but he pulled his man in doing so. Hannes Limpar.
You mentioned Horn there, Black ganging up on Gillespie, and certainly sometimes it's Parkinson, but they're definitely helping out Unsworth, who's playing, as we say, left back today. But the pattern of the game very similar. Newcastle taking the initiative. Almost on occasions you feel they've looked the home side, and Everton have been sort of getting numbers back and just relying on that ball into Duncan Ferguson and the odd isolated attack, but it has given them two clear-cut chances. But at the moment, definitely more possession to Newcastle.
Well won by Peacock. Neat touch from Mr. Cooper. Got there again. Good stuff from Lee Clark, though. Had to be watched. Shot from Joe Parkinson.
This one a bit hopeful toe-ender in the end. I mean, it's just coming up 9 or 10 minutes into the second half, and with, of course, Stewart and Samway's on the bench and being the home side, at some stage if it stays 0-0, I would have thought Joe Roll has to take a more positive approach.
Here's Gillespie. Run for the corner. News of the departed John Beresford. He has a hamstring problem. So it looked like that as soon as he pulled up. Kitson on the 6-yard line. Lee Clark from further back, met by Ablett and well. Bracewell. True pass, lots of room for a good cross from Gillespie. Peacock was beaten to it by Watson. In by Gillespie, away by Ablett. Elliott, the back man. Flag is up. Offside verdict. staying tight with Ferguson and just making himself a nuisance, and effective in doing so. Darren Peacock. And tighter to him in this half than it appeared in the first. Unsworth. It's an Everton corner. Majority in a crowd of 35,203. Hoping that this might be the moment. It's curled in. Elliott's head. And that's a really nasty challenge. I think the referee, a nasty collision, I think the referee might have to stop the game, but he doesn't. Benderson underneath it. Here's Ferguson. Struck by Jackson. And Limpar hobbles up. Fox beat him to it.
Because there's a lull now, because Sanders Limpar's still limping, he should be taking the corner kick. So in the end, Unsworth's coming over to take it, curl it in, I'm sure, with his left foot.
All the big men up. They've only left Barry Horn back in the centre circle. And the goalkeeper claims it well. Limpar still struggling. Well seen by Horn. Space right side, but he couldn't use it to Unsworth. Newcastle have used it. This is Gillespie. Plenty of players coming from midfield. Fox already in the box. Kitson further back. Needs somebody at the back. It's Lee. Deflected by Watson. It's Lee Clark. Still three in there. Watson again, not quite as he hoped, and the flag is up for offside.
Good ball, wasn't it, by Lee, over the top for Gillespie. Typical Newcastle break, and then they surge forward. 4 or 5 players get in to join them in the penalty area. Couldn't quite get the clear opening. Gillespie's cross a bit deep for Lee after he'd joined.
Robert Lee has supplied the best 2 passes of the match. In both cases, Gillespie the recipient. Ablett on by Limpar. Peacock covered well. Kitson for a moment got away, and the bounce favoured Watson. Unsworth. Huttiger got the wrong side. Well picked up. Not the best of crosses. Again, a lack of composure by a man in with a chance of using the ball better, which is the case now with Lee Clark. Fox. Barlow. His second chance. Oh, and he's wide. Hands on heads everywhere among those who follow Everton Football Club. It was another gilt-edged chance. Pulled it wide of the goalkeeper, but wide of his right-hand post.
Well, it looked as if he'd done everything right, didn't he? And just dragged it beyond the far post. Barry Venison very lucky here. Look, he tries to bring him down. That would have been a red card offence, but he got away from him, but missed the goal.
Opportunity coming just short of the hour. It's not a fair try by Duncan Ferguson. Ambitious. And it really wasn't far away. Look at Barry Venison here. Definitely takes a flick. Whether he made any contact, I don't know. There was a slight hesitation moment with Barlow, but he went on and drove the shot wide. It did affect his stride. Venison got away with it.
Just as well, Stuart Barlow is very pacey, and Barry Venison definitely trying to bring him down. So he was nowhere near the tackle, and it would have been an early bath if he had touched him.
activity on the Everton bench. Anders Limpar hasn't recovered yet from the knock he had in his collision with Fox. Group 1 from Newcastle. Goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Everton through to this stage with 3 straight wins, 2 at home, 1 away, yet to concede a goal. Parkinson's head, little nod from Hottiger. Ablets made many a good tackle come interception. Limpar down again. Looks at Paul Bracewell and does his first bit of writing. No alternative.
Funny thing was, Anders Limpar's been limping to be substituted, and suddenly he showed a bit of pace and then gets brought down. There's the booking, and that's his last piece of the action though, and a direct replacement really, Graham Stewart.
With a free kick, which is a really poor one. Everton have kept plenty of players forward. Here's Jackson. Goal kick.
Just urging the Newcastle defence to push up that bit more. I think they have just got that little bit deeper the last few minutes and allowed Everton to get that little bit more pressurised and push them back a bit. They can't afford to get pushed back in their penalty area with Ferguson's height.
Just offside given, not against Barlow, who was then adjudged by the referee to have dived. In fact, the referee didn't call the offside. I think was shown against Ferguson. Free kick, which I think has been won a bit by Kitson. I think Ablett might agree with me. Well, there was just a hand on, and if players put hands on, the referee is likely to get the free kick, even if there wasn't much pressure. Lee! Wide. Was in the semi-final last year, and so nearly in the final, denied by Mark Hughes when he was manager of Oldham Athletic. We've had 20 minutes of the second half of this quarter-final. Ferguson nods down. Brilliant! Oh, it's in! Ferguson's head, and Dave Watson puts Everton in front. The source, as expected. The finisher, perhaps not.
Ferguson gets the first real header, knocks it down. It's just set up there by Hottiger, and Watson then comes onto it. He gets a hand to it, Cernacek, but just slips into the side netting. That height advantage eventually telling.
Surprise, some sympathy for Pavel Cernacek, who so nearly deflected it. Came up off Hottiger, header by Watson, and Cernacek couldn't keep it out. There's a smile on the faces now of those with masks and those without. side the lead. Graham Stewart. Elliott. Fox. He's got to do a bit more. Strong challenge by both players. Weston has gone for the free kick at Goodison Park. He's already thinking in terms not of the next round but of the one afterwards. Long way to go yet. All in the 66th minute. Stewart threatening. Not as skillful as Limpar, but probably quicker. Centre-one off the field now, not to be offside. Ferguson chasing his own pass.
Well, the pattern of the match reminds me very much of the league game here against Manchester United, where Everton had their game plan, they defended well, got the goal. That time it was from Ferguson, this time he knocked it down for Watson, and it just gives them that impetus now, the three central midfielders and the two wide men to tackle and harass, and they've got something to hold on to. It's going to be extremely difficult for Newcastle to prize them open.
Up and then off Hotigo, which set it up for Watson, who got there first as Peacock didn't get off the ground. Cernicek did, but just couldn't do enough. Celebration continuing. They've got a real battle on their hands to stay in the Premiership, and Joe Royle says that is of greater importance, but try telling that at the moment to the supporters of Everton, and deep down Joe Royle himself must be elated, trying to stop the pass going too quickly. Difficult to judge his reaction. St James's Park against Blackburn back in round 3, and they went on to win away from home. Ottiger. Newcastle are going to have to battle it even more than previously for every inch on the pitch. Gillespie. Ottiger. Skill kick.
Kevin Keegan's options are a bit limited from the point of view of substitution. Of course, Rob Elliott has come on already, and he's got Steve Watson, a sort of versatile player who can play in midfield, but just a case of whether he decides to throw an extra man up, because Paul Kitson is up there quite often by himself with everyone breaking from midfield, and he might have to throw a second striker up alongside.
Cut a little kindly. Benson invites Kitson to chase again. Didn't really give him much of an opportunity. The manager whose side is leading.
Probably remembering that, Mark, Hughes' equaliser last year, not counting his chickens.
Well played, Stewart. Barlow's able to collect. Stewart wants it back. And not for the first time in the afternoon, Barlow puts his head in his hands. Got the first goal of his first goal of the season last Wednesday, and a defeat at Nottingham Forest. Might have had 2 this afternoon. Parkinson. Fox. Last ranks of blue, trying to cover every option. Played Lee. Kicked it in too. It's a Newcastle throw. Elliott. Elliott again. Bracewell. Good ball. Offside given. Everton moved up on a line about 20 yards out.
Bad play from Lee Clark. If the decision was right, it looked as if he was a yard or two, because he could see the whole of the back line of Everton. We should know by now, after 73 minutes, how they do like to push up. So in a wide position, he shouldn't be caught a yard or two offside.
Ferguson. Time Peacock didn't go with him. Now covering his run. Good tackle, Elliott. Clark, back again to Fox, well taken. Kitson starts to move forward, Gillespie on the right side. Kitson with a long diagonal run, but well spotted yet again by Mr. Southall.
It was just a situation there where they broke. Fox was clear, and again he only had Kitson because Clark had dropped deep. I think now with just 16 minutes left, a second striker up alongside Kitson must give him the extra option, and it's something Kevin King must be seriously thinking about soon.
Peacock's head. Venison, no challenge on him. Clark kept it in. Empty forward, Hottiger wants it diagonally. Lee drops deep to collect. Elliott. Not the best ball in by Robbie Elliott. Sort of occasion when Beresford would, I think, have made a run in and tried to commit somebody. Into the last quarter of an hour. More up and on. And here's Ferguson, gets in behind. Doesn't make the most of it. Hottiger. Not the best of headers by Jackson. Good play by Horn. Gillespie. It's the moment for him to prove his value in the transfer that took Andy Cole to Manchester United. Elliott. handball, but referee says play on. Fox. Stewart covering the back man at the end of the Newcastle line. It was Gillespie. The linesman indicates the free kick. I find it a bit disappointing that Keith Gillespie on a couple of occasions has looked for that rather than used his skill as he did right at the start to leave Unsworth in his wake. But free kick in a testing position. Gillespie is going to take. Met by Evelyn. Venison. Won by Hall.
When you see them taking the free kick out wide as well, you see Everton so dominate the soft skyline with their height advantage. You can't see Newcastle having any joy with the crosses up in the air.
They've really got to work their opening as they've been trying to do since the start. The man who makes it happen for them is a spectator. Elliott. Good header. Clark. Anywhere will do. Gillespie, met by Watson. Venison. Clark. Kitson waits in the middle. Lee is forward. Hottiger now in possession. Kitson. Blocked by Southall and off the woodwork from Fox. Southall denying Lee Clark. And Fox. Will there be another opportunity for Newcastle United? They work their way through then. Really good play by Paul Kitson. And Clark with the first time shot blocked. But how did Ruel Fox miss?
Great square ball on the turn there from Kitson. Good save by Southall at a tight angle. It's not his best foot. Ruel Fox, of course, he having to play on the left side since the arrival of Gillespie. But, well, will you get any better opportunities than that?
And while we were looking at that replay, Newcastle have made a substitution. Steve Watson on for Mark Hottiger. And suddenly there are 3 attackers against 2 defenders with the ball given away. Watson playing in midfield. Almost gets a chance. Lee with the left. Just at the moment got 3 at the back. Newcastle United. It's a gamble that they had to take.
Yes, I didn't think it'd take long for Kevin Keegan to decide, well, let's really go for it. And certainly 3 at the back now, and Clark pushed forward.
Over the top, but offside. 10 minutes left for Newcastle to save the day.
They're almost playing with 3 up now. Keegan putting Watson, who can play all over the place, but rather than being midfield, he's pushed him almost as the second striker up with Kitson, with Clark just behind those 2 joining as before.
Kevin Keegan looking very calm. Conversation there with Derek Kuzakali on the left. A little nod down, but that's the goalkeepers. Much of their football, Newcastle United, has deserved a second bite. They need a little sharpness from 1 or 2 in their lineup at the moment. The skillful players have got to make their presence felt, like this man, Ruel Fox, like Gillespie, like Lee, an international player this season. Two on the left, and Lee Clark can't hold it. Played forward and no more. It's an awkward bounce and he didn't get it right, Peacock! But neither quite did Ferguson. Newcastle breathe again. Their life in the cup was about to be snuffed out. Cernacek brought them back to life. And here is Robert Lee. There was an extra touch there he didn't want.
I think Darren Peacock must have thought about his back pass at Anfield recently when, of course, it made it 2-0 there, nearly 2-0 for Everton. Will that be a lifeline for Newcastle?
Gillespie, good skill. And they were so anxious, Everton, they just knocked it out of play. Venison. Bracewell. Got away from Hall. Fox. Watson, beaten by Watson. Newcastle by the Evertonian. Gillespie. Unsworth did a better job. Good turn by Ferguson. There's nobody up. Now Barlow coming forward.
It's marvellous play by Duncan Ferguson. I mean, again up there by himself, but that was the one before. Just tries to lift it over Cernacek. Cernacek does well, stands up, and then Peacock says, "Thank goodness for that."
Barlow. He just flashed at it when the odds were really against him. Watson. Well played. Gillespie. Plenty queuing up in the middle. Cross has got to be made to count. Bracewell asked a lot of the pitch. There's boot on it. Stewart, stop running. Peacock. Fox. Elliott. Watson. Neither knew where it had gone. Everton throw. We're down to the last 5 minutes. Gillespie. Kitson. Timely moment to fall. Venison desperate to get things going quickly again. A moment for Trevor Brooking to make his choice of the Littlewoods Bulls man of the match.
Well, I think been some good performances, but that man there, Duncan Ferguson, makes Everton's whole system work. I mean, up there by himself, he's won everything in the air and set up the goal.
The thread by which that goal is keeping Everton with the place in the semi-final. He's looking a bit frayed at times. Only 4 minutes left, but a lot of pressure here from Newcastle. Neville Southall with a record of not having been beaten in the FA Cup so far. Important saves early on Pico. Oh, they're hanging up the long ball. That is not the way. They're not going to save it that way, surely. With Ablett and Watson there, and behind them a goalkeeper prepared to come and claim the ball. Anxiety is hugely understandable. Linesman's flag up here for offside. David Watson has had a very, very good game and scored what may well be the decisive goal.
I think he and Gary Ablett were two other players, their central defensive partnership. He looks much happier when he's playing in the central defence rather than as a left back, and he's done well alongside Watson. Newcastle have battled well as a team. It's just that final ball, that final cutting edge, they've just been hustled out of it when it's really mattered.
Elliott, David Watson, John Everett. His miss in the first half now will count for nothing. Unless Newcastle can change things. We're in the 89th minute. That's a corner. Extraordinary clearance by Parkinson. Well, he applied his own law to that. Play the way you're facing, bang it into the crowd. Newcastle faithful crossing their fingers, offering a prayer. Gillespie takes. Oh, it's a gift for the central defenders, and together they got it away. A bit short, and here's Ferguson. He's got rushing to get back. The big fella holds on, and it was Everton who nearly got through. Crowd want the final whistle. Kitson, Lee. Well, there was a late goal at Anfield. Will there be a late goal at Goodison? Lee Clark. Everton clear their lines again. Bidding for offside. Poor clearance. This is Fox. That's Southall's. He's so close to the last four again.
We also need a result on Wednesday. They've got a big game here in Premiership relegation battle against Manchester City, and after that he loses two or three of his players like Ferguson, so he needs to pick up 3 points on Wednesday because he doesn't want to get into that FA Cup semi-final with a relegation threat hanging over them.
We're in the first minute of the referee's allowance of stoppage time. It's all over as far as the crowd are concerned. Ball won't go out, and it's an Everton throw again. Referee looks closely at his watch. The whistle is in his mouth. He thought it all. He's taking it out again. Joe Royle's team goes through. Shakes hands with the man with whom he shared 3 internationals for England. Watson, the scorer of the only goal. Sir John Hall sees his team go out, and one has to say that Newcastle deserving of great sympathy. They played, or tried to play a lot of good football. They couldn't find the way through. Loss of Beardsley absolutely crucial. And the loss of Steve Howie through suspension, equally so. Ferguson so dominant in the air, and in the end, it was his head which set up the opportunity for the head of the captain, Dave Watson, to decide that Everton are through to the semi-final round.
Well, I think, as we said at half-time, it didn't have the class of the match here on Merseyside yesterday, but it certainly had plenty of excitement.
It was a great game. I feel disappointed for Newcastle. I thought they put a lot into the game. I think there was a mixture of naivety and lack of composure in the final third of the pitch. They had great opportunities. Losing Beardsley was a massive blow to them. I think if Beardsley had been playing, they would have taken them back to Newcastle. But you can't argue with Everton's system. People may not be enamoured with it, but they can't argue that it's totally effective.
Very effective, Ferguson, isn't he, Jim?
Yeah, difficult to hold, I mean, under any circumstances. And Newcastle, as we said right from the start, are not the strongest side defensively, and there were enough chances against them. One of them was taken. I mean, both sides threw away quite a lot of chances in that game.
Yeah. Now, I think Ray Stubbs got Dave Watson with him. He must have been close to man of the match himself, I would have thought.
Dave Watson, that second half performance from Everton and then a goal from yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the first half we were a disgrace and the manager put things right at half-time. The second half our attitude was a lot better, and you know, we competed for everything and we got the lucky break when we needed it.
Do you think that was the difference in the second half, that Everton attitude?
Yeah, I think we gave them too much space in the first half and they were playing through us, give us a lot of problems. The second half, not as much. Neville's made a few fine saves, but overall I think we sneaked it and deserved it.
You'll enjoy your goal, but I'm sure you'll pay a tribute to Duncan Ferguson, who just was able to get it towards you.
Yeah, I mean, any balls plays up to Duncan, there's always going to be a flick on, or the defender's not going to get a clear header. And I just went in there, took a chance, and fortunately for me, it dropped in the right place, and I got it in the corner of the net.
Now, we're going to hear the draw very quickly, but the spirit on Merseyside now, the blue half of the city anyway, you'll really think you can go all the way?
Well, there's another tough game, whoever it is, so fingers crossed, and hopefully, you know, whoever it is, we'll give them a good game.
Stand here, Dave. Any second now, you'll see who you're playing in that semi-final.
Thank you very much. And just a reminder, well, in case you didn't hear about it earlier, Manchester United beat Queen's Park Rangers 2-0. The scorers were Sharp and Irwin, so they're in the draw as well. So it's time now for the draw for the Littlewoods Cup sponsored semi-finals. Time for Gary Lineker on Radio 5 to join us as we go down to Graham Kelly for that draw.
Thank you. Welcome to the draw for the semi-finals of the FA Cup, sponsored by Littlewoods Pools. The teams will be drawn by Gordon McKeague, the chairman of the Challenge Cup Committee, and Sir Bert Millerchip, the chairman of the FA.
Number 4.
Manchester United.
Number 3.
Play Crystal Palace or Wolverhampton Wanderers.
And number 1.
Tottenham Hotspur.
I hope this is number 2. Number 2.
Everton. That concludes the draw. Both ties will be played on Sunday, the 9th of April.
Thank you very much indeed. So we've got, well, Manchester United, I suppose, got the draw that everybody was waiting for there.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Everton Tottenham, a great tie. You know, it'll be very much the same sort of game as today. Route 1 against the classical pass and move, but it should be a great contest.
Who do you fancy?
Being lethal, you'd say it's a Manchester United-Tottenham final on pure class, but the Cup's not like that, and it's up to the others just to find a way of unsettling them.
Let's see what the Everton boys think of that draw.
Gary Abler, quickly, what do you think of Tottenham?
Well, you know, it's a good tie for us, but I say we're just happy to be in the semi-finals. We don't mind who we play.
Dave Watson, certainly, you didn't want Manchester United, but Tottenham are a good side too.
Yeah, any side that gets to the semi-finals must be a decent, and Tottenham are playing well at the moment, so you know, it'll be a difficult tie, but on the day, if we play as well as we can, we'll give most teams a game.
Thanks for joining us, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Right, let's take a look at the goal that put Everton into that semi-final once again here. Alan, perhaps have a word about this?
Well, it was a free kick that was given away needlessly. Ferguson gets up, and you've got to make sure the second ball, Pottinger makes a mess of it. Watson comes in. I thought Sunachek was a little bit unlucky there, but it was just total Route 1 again. Ball up in the air. Good knockdown. Pottinger under pressure. Good header from Watson.
I did say at half-time that it would be Ferguson plus. There's Ferguson, And what happened after is the plus. A scramble, a fight to get it away. The cup tie is decided at that moment. And what an unlucky keeper, not keep it getting it out.
Yeah, he was
who are we
terrific today.
fancying for the cup right now then, gentlemen?
I would have to go for Manchester United.
Hard
It's
to back
difficult
against
go,
them, isn't it?
difficult to go against them.
Yeah.
It really is.
They won't believe that, but it's said, it's written that it's Tottenham's year, you know, just to make
that-
it embarrassing
That
for
written
the
on
FA.
the cup business, that's all
I
nonsense.
can tell you,
Nobody
it is
believes
not
that.
embarrassing for the FA. They would be as happy as I would if Tottenham won the cup or anybody else. That's official.
A Tottenham against Manchester United final is one for the aficionado.
Yeah, one for the purists.
You've
Yeah.
been very unfair to the other two clubs in sort
Other
of
three.
savouring that.
The other
Well,
three.
Other
pardon
three
me.